our strongest desire is that you accept that which you call source energy or that which you call God is doing the creating that you've all been reveling in or revering right here through you in this time-space reality. That when you have that moment of delight in a new idea, that is you and Source together reveling in the eternal expansion of this universe. And it's worth celebrating right then and there. And that's what that elation that you feel is. That's that celebration that you and Source are having together, you see. And when you feel afraid, when you feel fearful, when you feel angry, when you have those negative emotions, it doesn't mean that Source is feeling those. It means that you're feeling something so bogus, so apart from the way the Source energy feels within you, that it has to equal the opposite compensation. In other words, who you really are feels so good when you pinch yourself off from it. Isn't it logical that you would feel really bad? So as you begin to understand that your emotions have always been your guidance system to let you know one thing and one thing only. How am I in my physical body right out here on the leading edge resonating with the source of all that I am? Is there full resonation? Or am I off the beam in some way? The first manifestation is a feeling. Next, you'll start having thoughts that match it. Good feeling thoughts that match it. So the next manifestation, after the manifestation of the emotion, will be more manifestations, more things that enhance that first manifestation. So the emotion's just going to feel better. It's going to get stronger. It's going to feel more specific. So we could say to you, in fact we will, that this first manifestation is a general manifestation in that I feel good just because I want to, or I feel good because I'm anticipating things coming, don't know what, don't know where, don't know when, don't know who necessarily, and don't need those specifics to feel good. That's the point that we want you to come to. I don't need all of those specifics to initially feel good, because I can feel good in the general sense that things always work out for me, in the general sense that the laws of the universe are always consistent, in the general sense that I have an emotional guidance system that will help me to keep myself in alignment with who I am, in the general sense that I accept that I am a worthy being. Well, that's general, but most of you aren't really doing a very good job of that, because you have specifically been not feeling worthy for a very long time. So when we say, oh, you are worthy, you say, yeah, but tell me how to get the things I want. Tell me how to get the things I want, and when I get them, I will feel worthy. And we say, well, you have to feel worthy, you have to feel capable, you have to feel excited, you have to be vibrationally ready before those things can come. And you say, yeah, but if you just show me how to get them, then I will have a feeling response to them. And we say, we know you would, but don't play the game that way. Because if you need the evidence before you have the feeling, then you slow it all way down. But if you can show yourself, and you can show yourself that today in the hours that we are together, that you can accomplish the emotional manifestation, you can feel better now about anything that is your desire or your issue. When you show yourself that, and you practice it, not because you have the ulterior motive, oh yeah, I'll do this boring work that Abraham is teaching me, and if I do it long enough, then I'll get what I really want. It is not for that ulterior motive. We want you to do it for the instant manifestation of achieving the vibrational emotion of well-being, which is the reason that you want every single thing to come into being anyway. We know you heard it. Before we're finished today, we want you to know it like we know it. Because when you discover the power of your ability to focus, the power of your ability to focus yourself into a good feeling emotion, you are free from all bondage. You are free from all bondage which exists for only one reason. It exists because there is vibrational resistance within you that you've practiced into place. And when you let go of that vibrational resistance that you've practiced into place, then it's as simple as saying, I like that. You achieve the vibrational good feeling of it. And then the universe says to you, and we're not kidding you about this at all, that feeling that is chronically present within you matches this. Would you like some of it? Matches this. Would you like some of it? Matches this. Matches this. Matches this clarity. Matches this vitality. Matches this stamina. Matches this conversation with this lovely person, matches this piece of information that is just the right information at the right time, matches this rendezvous with this set of people, matches this experience, matches this manifestation. In other words, the matching just gets more and more and more and more deliciously and satisfyingly specific. But you got to start with the foundation that as it fills in with stuff you do want rather than stuff you don't want. How you ever got the idea that God, or whatever you want to call that non-physical beingness, is sitting somewhere apart from you, waiting for you to figure stuff out so that you can rejoin it, is truly the byproduct of man's disconnecting himself completely from the picture, from the creative picture of how it all fits together. You are source energy in these physical bodies. You cannot disconnect yourself from that source energy. But you can choose lackful thought about yourself, about others, about your government. You can choose worrisome thoughts about yourself, about others, about your government. You can choose thoughts that don't feel good about just about anything. And in the doing so, you deprive yourself of your awareness of source who is flowing through you, whether you know source is flowing through you or not. In a moment of brilliance, you say, wonder where that came from. And we say, we don't want you to wonder anymore. It came from your alignment. When you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, you're tuned in to the frequency of all that you are, you see. And after you taste that a little bit, anything less than that is not only just not okay, it's really, really not okay. You can't feel the deliciousness of alignment and then find some petty, unimportant thing to use as your reason to choose a vibrational frequency that's different than the frequency of source, and deprive yourself of source energy without knowing that something has gone really, really wrong. And it isn't permanently wrong. It's just temporarily wrong in the sense that it's not as right as it could be or as you want it to be, or really, we'll go as far as saying as it should be, because you are meant to feel good. You are meant to be brilliant. You are meant to be tuned into the high frequency of who you really are. This is the best articulation of where this leading edge knowledge has come to this point. It'll be different tomorrow, but here's where it is today. If you accept the vibrational quality of that which you are, and you accept that your most powerful desire is the manifestation of the emotion, and you accept that once you've accomplished that, now you've connected with source energy, now you're in the place of allowing all of this alignment and all of this power, that emotional manifestation is the grid that will fill in with such detail to surprise and delight you and inspire you and thrill you and others, never-endingly, never-endingly, never-endingly. So if you start with this emotional basis and you let it be what you are really reaching for, and you accept it as the only thing that is important for you to accomplish, and so you begin going after it, we want you to think of that emotional accomplishment or that emotional manifestation as the general but pure basis of creation. Now, it will fill in with more specifics. It just must, because law of attraction is going to fill it in. Mm-hmm. And it will fill it in with the specifics that match the basis of it. Mm-hmm. So that's why we're saying, if you will take the time to lay a basis, because when you love and hate and love and hate and love and hate, your grid is filled in with lovely things and hateful things and lovely things and hateful things. When you're sure and afraid and sure and afraid and sure and afraid, your grid fills in with certainty and fearful things. And so as you clarify deliberately this emotional basis, and then you watch the manifestations reflect that, it gives you your conscious awareness. It's really what deliberate creation is. But it will always fill in with more specifics. As you are source energy before you come into this body, and a part of you comes into this physical body, and you explore the details, and you know what you don't want, and you know what you do want, and you launch these rockets of desire. The source energy part of you continues to be the expanded vibrational version of what life is calling through you. And over time, this non-physical part of you expands often into a higher frequency than you allow yourself to go to. And so there's this vibrational rift between you and you that equals how you feel. Now, when you close it, you feel love. When you widen it, you don't. When you close it, you feel secure. When you widen it, you feel insecure. Well, most people aren't aware of this. They're not tending to this. They're tending to this. How can I make her happy? What can I do for her? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Because I'm getting my feedback from your response to me instead of getting my feedback from your response to me, you see. So that's why it can go along fine. Everything can look like it's doing good. You're jumping through the hoops in all the right ways. You're reasonably happy, but you feel this emptiness because you're not tending to this. So we've been talking about this for a long time. Today we're talking about it in a new framework, in a new way of understanding it. We're saying you want to go so general that you allow yourself to connect to the source within you. And it is only when you are in alignment, completely in alignment with who you are, that you can then be out there. Oh, let's start again. So here you are, walking around with your lover, having life experience, living in your house, driving your vehicles, having your experience with children. In other words, you're out here on the leading edge having all of that. And the source within you is out there having those experiences with you. But there is a disconnect. You're not allowing yourself to feel fully all that source feels because you haven't been tuning yourself consciously to the feeling of source. You've been tuning yourself consciously to the feeling of manifestations, to the feeling of conversations with other humans. Is this making some sense to you? In other words, looking for love in all the wrong places. And what we mean by that is if you're looking for the love before you've found the base connection with your own emotional connection to your source, then it will always feel like there's something missing. You could leave that relationship and go somewhere else, and you might temporarily feel a little enlivened with new things that might be serving as catalysts to connect you more with your inner being initially. But usually, different faces, different places, but you end up feeling pretty much the same way. It's so much better to stay right where you are and do what you're really reaching for, which is connecting to the true love that is you, so that the true love that is you can be present in the car, in the house, in the bed, in the family, in the life. So now you know everything we know. Now you know everything that is important to you. Now you know that when you feel fear, all it means is source doesn't agree with you. And source is right here present with you, always in this leading edge moment. You are never by yourself. You are never without the full resources of all that you are. You cannot sever yourself from that. You cannot. You cannot sever yourself from the resources of source. But you can deprive yourself of the feeling of source if you activate a vibration that doesn't allow you the translation of it. Does that make sense to you? And doesn't negative emotion every single time, doesn't it have an empty quality to it? Doesn't fear feel like empty? Doesn't anger feel like empty? Doesn't it feel like it really is? You've sort of emptied yourself, much too strong of word. You've sort of disconnected yourself, much too strong of word. But it is fair to say you're depriving yourself in any moment that you feel negative emotion. You're depriving yourself of the full resources of source that are available to you immediately. And as we're moving forward here today, we want to show you that within 10 minutes tops, no matter how long you've been in that place, no matter how long you've practiced that negative emotion, no matter what the conditions you're standing in that you're observing that may be making you feel less than good, it doesn't matter how big, bad, and awful whatever it is that you think you're living, 10 minutes is as long as we think it would ever take to achieve the important manifestation of the improved emotional state of being. And if you can accomplish the emotion, you've created the grid. And if you've created the grid and can maintain the emotion, the details will fill in. And you will feel like the most blessed, loved, cared for, worthy being who has ever lived in any environment. Because everything just fills in and says, here's more, lovely one, of what you're looking for. Here's more, here's more, here's more. You'll never get bored because there will always be more. You'll always stand in a place where your time-space reality will inspire yet a new desire to which you must achieve emotional alignment. You got that, didn't you? We love presenting to you the things that we've talked about here today. And it is so satisfying to feel